What's up guys, welcome to today's video. It's a little bit different to the usual location where I would introduce myself, in the men's changing room. However, I'm in this location because today I'm going to bring you a very educational video because I'm going to be going through 4 exercises which I think are key to developing the outer leg sweep, the muscle that is very aesthetic, that when you look at someone straight on, you see that nice X shape. So let's get into it, starting now.
So movement number 1 is going to be a close stance front squat. So key points to take here is your feet should be about 3 to 6 inches apart when doing the movement, and most of the stress is going to be on the quads because that is where the bar is. So that is why it's a fantastic movement for targeting not only the quads but the outer sweep as well. Try and keep your torso as straight as possible. Good posture throughout the movement, because if you lean too far forward, that will take the stress again away from the quads, and we don't want that. Drive through the heels when you push back up, and you don't have to lock your legs all the way out at the top. And when you come down, you don't have to go all the way ass to grass. It can just be a 90-degree angle between the upper thigh and your calf muscle.
Now would be a good time to say hit the subscribe button and like the video if you enjoy it, and you should have also noticed that the camera quality is much fucking better, hell of a lot better, because I bought the new iPhone XS Max the other day. I was looking forward to buying a new phone, because when you buy a new phone, it's like another birthday, isn't it? You know, it's always good when you buy a new phone. So it's an investment that's going to last a long time. It's something that I need, so looking forward to using it.
So the next movement is a leg press. Now, again, it's important to note that the positioning of your feet is what's going to determine which area of the leg you're going to target. So as we are wanting to target the outer sweep of the quad, your feet should be low down on the plate, very close together, a few inches apart if that. And as you push the plate, you want to be driving through the heels, and as you bring the plate down, so the eccentric movement when your knees are coming down towards your chest, you don't want your knees to go above your toes. So as you can see on the screen here, my knees are slightly high as it's coming down, but I'm never letting them go above my toes. You can have the upper portion of your back slightly off the headrest, because it's also good if you can bring your knees as close to your chest as possible. And again, driving through the heels as you push the plate back up.
By the way, can you relate to me more like this or like this? Took me a while to undo it then. Well, I'm gonna rock this today, but let me know in the comments if you prefer me with my button undone. The top one, not the bottom one. Don't get any ideas. Although, if you do, send me a message. Genetics does play a part in how well developed the outer sweep is on your quadriceps. However, there's no reason why you cannot achieve a great outer sweep. You're just gonna have to work that extra bit harder than maybe someone who is blessed in that area, okay?
So this is just another angle of the leg press movement. Again, as you can see, feet are low down on the plate, and when you are driving the heels through and you're pushing back up, really try and use the mind to muscle connection. So yes, the most important thing is obviously the execution, where your feet positioning are, but as you're doing the movement, try and focus as you are contracting that outer sweep.
Now, I would recommend, if you're training legs once a week, you should include at least 2 of the exercise variations in your workout. If you are training legs at least once a week, then you can include all of the exercises shown in today's video back to back on one of the leg days. So if you're going to train quads on one leg day, hamstrings and glutes on the other, for example, obviously in the quads workout, you would include most of the emphasis on the outer sweep, and you can include all the exercises as shown in today's video.
So this is the last view of, or the last angle that I'm going to show of the leg extension, just to give you a better understanding of how the feet should be positioned on the plate. So literally, as you can see, just an inch or two apart. Legs and knees should be in line with your feet the whole time throughout the movement. Very low down on the plate, as you can see again. Knees not coming above the toes as I bring the plate down. Focusing on contracting the outer sweep and drive through the heels.
So in this workout, I was doing 3 sets of 6 on the big compound lifts, such as the leg press and the front squat. When I went on to the more isolation exercises, such as the leg extension, and then I did unilateral work on the dumbbell split squat, I went for 3 sets of 6 to 8 plus reps. The reason for that is because at the start of the workout, I had most of my energy, so that's when I did the big compound movements, and it's much easier to add more weight and do heavier sets on the big compound movements because you're able to be stronger because you're using more muscles, you're using more joints all at the same time, and generally it's quite hard to do low heavy sets on isolation exercises, like especially if you want to keep good form, which is the most important. If you're trying to do sets of 6 or lower on the leg extension and things like shoulder lat raise, you might be able to do it, but you're going to be jerking a bit, most likely. You're going to be using other muscles, and you want most of the focus to be purely on that muscle group. So I would usually go a little bit lighter when it comes to those types of exercises. And also because when I went on to do the dumbbell split squat, I don't usually do many of those. So it was quite hard for me to keep my balance. And because you're only using one leg at a time, that can be quite difficult as well, especially if you don't have a very strong core, because that exercise is really going to work your core as well. So that is the reason for that. The other thing that I want to point out as well is, if you're following a training program, these are just the exercises that you can include to help develop the outer sweep more. I'm not saying that this particular rep range and the amount of sets is ideal for you. If you want to learn about that, then I recommend you watch one of my other videos, which I will link in the description for you, where I basically talk about what's the best training split, the best training frequency, how you can progress your lifts over time. That is how you can work out what type of rep range and sets will be best for you if you're not already following a training program yourself.
So, moving on, another key exercise into building that outer sweep would be the toes in leg extension. That's why I'm showing you this view first, because as you can see, you want to try and point your toes into a tolerable, or if that's a word, a position that you can tolerate, or bring your toes in slightly. That is going to target the outer sweep a lot more when you are doing the leg extension. Slowly bringing the weight down, don't let the plate slam, and as you lift up and extend your legs, you want to squeeze and contract that quadricep muscle. This is a key exercise that I would include in most leg workouts, because the main function of the vastus lateralis is to extend the leg, the lower half of the leg, from the knee joint.
So the exercises such as the leg press and the close stance front squat, they are very similar movement patterns, as in, at the end of the day, they're both squatting movements. You're just doing one in a seated position, one standing. So you don't have to do all of the squatting type of movements. You could include one, but I would definitely include the other exercises for some more variation. Definitely the toes in leg extension, because unless you have severe knee pain, then you could just do a normal leg extension. But the reason is because the two main functions of the vastus lateralis is for the stability of the knee and also to help extend the lower portion of the leg from the knee joint. So if that's what its action and purpose is, then the majority of the time you should definitely be doing leg extensions to target that muscle group. And if you can, toes in. Dumbbell split squat, because it's a bit of variation, and also it helps to target the glutes and hamstrings, but it also helps to target the core. And if you have a stronger core, that will actually help you get stronger in the compound lifts, such as the front squat and the leg press in the future.
So the last and final exercise that we're going to do to target the outer sweep is a dumbbell split squat. This is a great exercise for a bit more variation, and you're also going to target the glutes and hams doing this. However, the same principle applies like a front squat, because you're more so targeting the quads doing this exercise, because the load is at the front when you lunge backwards or you lunge forwards, because you're holding the dumbbells at the side. Now, key point I want you to take from this is, as you're performing the movement, you can either step back as you lunge or you can step forward, whichever is most comfortable. Use a weight where you can do, I would say, at least 8 reps performing the exercise correctly. Through the whole movement, keep the core engaged, keep a good posture. And another thing that's going to target the quads more is you don't have to take a big lunge forward or big lunge back. If you just take a smaller step than usual, that's going to put more emphasis on the quads again.
Thanks very much for watching today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope it was educational and you can take a lot away from this video. If you have, make sure that you remembered the 2 tasks that I asked of you. 1, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get notified of future videos. Give it a thumbs up. Thanks very much. I'll see you soon.